His own work's become so important to him because it's really changed him as a person. I don't think he didn't sit there planning to be an artist. It just became his life, his life's blood.
Footprints in the snow thing, you know, finding a trail to his work, and the portable museum now, just like walking through a forest and finding it. I mean, that's such a special way to, you know, if you're walking through a forest and you suddenly come across a gallery, you're kind of like, wow, what the hell is this?
It is that sort of simple, lateral thinking that makes Rick interesting. It's just an accumulation of ideas. It's not just one little thing, it's just like a chain of events really, little thoughts that are, you presume are disconnected but somehow come back to being connected. Just when the last link might be missing and it eventually arrives and it all seems to make sense, then that's it, the working in the realms of the unknown.
The unknown was sort of basically the crux of a lot of this X factor which is in all my work, which is my work.
I mean, he's got himself into the ideal position really, because he's had a really slow build throughout his career. I mean, that could be really frustrating because you can see people around you getting like a quick fix and just like out of nowhere, just the next best thing. And you know, musically or artistically, that happens all the time. You know, so many people are just like really applauded and championed. You see those people come and go, and I think always the best way to do it is just the slow build, and that's the way that he's always built his career, just off his own back, really. You know, as soon as he left college, he had work immediately, and that wasn't because he was going out championing himself or anything like that. It was just through word of mouth.
My thought when I saw the funnel vision, the pod, you know, it's such a beautiful piece, and you know the way the roof slopes, and just everything about it was so good. I was like, you know, why the hell is this not in like magazines? Why is this not, you know, getting publicity? But then I thought, well, it's not actually that important really, because he's made a beautiful object, and you know that's there hopefully forever. So you know, people may not discover it now, but hopefully they'll discover it in 5 or 10 years. You know, it's just all going to be word of mouth rather than a media kind of force feeding it people. People discover it themselves, and that's the best way, that's the best art, you know, it'll stay with people.
Actually, people create things that are not necessarily about selling in that sense. And that's one thing about Rick's work. He's not out there to do it to sell the works, which is quite interesting. I think in Rick's case, it's slightly different. It's kind of removed from that point. It's the fact that he wants to communicate. It's very pure. We had so many conversations about this, pure idea, exactly, about communication.
People associate with Rick just solely concentrate on his album covers and his artwork, but there's so much more to him than that. As soon as you go to his studio, you realise that, because it's just like going into, it's entering a Willy Wonka type world of just seeing bits of artwork everywhere and rough sketches and stuff, and it's just immediate.
Rick, he's never got any downtime. He's always doing something. You know, he hasn't got to bed till 5, and he's working on something, or he's scribbling down ideas. I mean, what people haven't really noticed about Rick, is his writing. He's pretty poetic. He's got a real angle on things, and he manages to put like text in with his images, and I just think it's a really interesting thing.
I think a while ago I was like Rick, slightly preoccupied with the production of things and excited about the idea of how things are put together, and getting a feeling out of using production, but now I think I'm getting better in the fact that I can do maybe more with less.
I love he's doing these paper figures at the moment. He's incorporated some of them in the sleeve of some cities, but he's got this fox and stuff that's brilliant. The way he's cutting them out, and they sort of sit out of a sheet of A4 paper. And I just think it's so simple, but I'd never, you know, it's just really beautiful.
Rick's talked a lot in the last year to me when he heard my new album about distilling your thought process down to the nitty-gritty, really, the most important elements, and that's always been his search. But again, it was never studied. It was always just something that instinctively, that's where that's where the heart of it is. That's what makes it special. As far as Rick's concerned, he's not referring to anyone else. It's just completely, it all comes from inside, and I totally understand that and relate to it. That's one of the reasons we do connect as friends, is that I can see that he's really striving for that, and it's sort of inspiring in itself.
What was really interesting was Rick was saying that potentially it could be anywhere. It could be in a forest, it could be in a town square, it could be in a football ground, it could be in a multi-storey car park. It doesn't matter. It's actually an object that just appears there, and people can go in and say, well, what's actually for sale here? Well, nothing's for sale. This is just the accessible art gallery for anybody.
Do for myself is go into that little room and feel a certain way, and that I want that feeling to reflect the feeling that I get when I'm making connections and being creative and being myself.